Hello there, Trevor here from Double Bill Movies. Well, I bet you can't guess what I watched yesterday. Yesterday was Friday the 13th. Yeah, well, of course I did. So this turned up Thursday. I saw a couple of other channels got it a little bit earlier, but I was pretty sure that it was going to turn up in time, and it did. So yes, last night I sat down and watched this. It's a lovely edition that Arrow have done here, only available in the US, so yes, had to import it. But I've already flipped the art for the original art, but I like what you get inside. Get a nice postcard from the lovely holiday destination, Crystal Lake, and you get a pretty cool booklet, which is kind of a mock sort of newspaper type thing. Lots of photos and essays and things in there, all information about the film, and you get this lovely double-sided poster. I'm sure you've seen unboxings, but hey, just what I wanted to show you. I really hope at some point I can get this in a frame and get that up on the wall. I really like that as well, actually. That's very nice too. But so came out in 2009. Directed by the same director who brought us the remake of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Marcus Nispel. But it was also produced by Michael Bay. So it was kind of nice for the director to get the option to have such a big sort of budget, and I'm guessing a really good crew behind him to make these films. So I have pictures to compare it to, because in this awesome box set, which is a US release, you get all the films, including the remake. It's slightly annoying that it has these holders. They're not the best in the world. So I've only ever seen the extended cut that you get on this 4K. This is the unrated version. But this also has a bonus disc in it, which I was really annoyed to find out last night. It's got really scratched. So killer extras. But there's some pretty nasty scratches on it. I don't know if you can see them there, up here. So I don't know if I'll be able to play those, but the third one is in 3D, so I also get the Anaglyph 3D glasses, and you get a patch put on a camp blanket, and if I can get it out, big booklet as well. I actually really like this film. It's not as good as the original, definitely not as good as the original, but I like the way it brings in, it sort of starts with the original story, and then first time we see Jason, he's got his cloth sack on, and then of course when he sort of deals with the guy with the wood chipper, and he goes to pick up his sack again to put on his head because the guy's pulled it off. He sees the hockey mask, and we get an unmasking scene. Sorry, a masking scene. So that's kind of really cool and quite iconic. I would say better than the way it was introduced in Friday the 13th Part 3. But hey, when you've got all those classic Friday the 13th films to go by, you can kind of do it in a better, more cool way, can't you? So yeah, didn't bother with the theatrical cut because I thought, well, no, I want to watch the best version, the longest version. And yeah, like I said, I realised quite quickly that it was the same cut as what I'd already seen. So that was good. So let's have a look at some of the pictures, shall we? Okay, so here are the images I took. The row on the bottom are the 4K and the row on the top are the Blu-ray. Now, I tried to get them in the same order, but I kind of forgot one and I needed to go back, and it was earlier on in the film than the first one I took. So I kind of wanted them chronologically, but my attempt to rename them in the hope that that would put them in the right order didn't work, because it goes by timestamp as to when I took them. So never mind. So let's start with the Blu-ray. Now, I have finally witnessed what Dolby Vision looks like, and I have to say it's quite impressive. There's much more saturation in the colours, and I would imagine anyone who's after that real natural filmic look, colour density, then Dolby Vision is going to give you that exact thing. Sadly, at the moment, most, or if not all, domestic projectors like the one I have don't do Dolby Vision. So you guys with your nice OLED TVs are getting one up on us with our projectors, but we still get a really nice picture, and of course we get a bigger picture. So yes, this is me sat in the middle of my sofa, right in the middle of the screen, and as you can see, the screen housing at the top. So I think it's a 2:3:5 aspect ratio. Would have been nice if it was a 1:7:8 really, but so yeah, I thought I'd pick a nice big shot just to give you a perspective of this. Looked really big to me because I'm only 2.5 meters away from it, and this is where he pulls up, trying to look for his sister. So obviously we've got the beginning of the film out the way, which is essentially parts 1 and parts 2. And now we're into, I guess, unknown territory, because it doesn't really follow anything. But there are some definite nods to what was it, Jason X, with the girl in the sleeping bag and all that kind of stuff. But this color palette is what I call a milky color palette, and I really like that. I got quite a few Blu-rays that have that look to it, and I think it's really nice looking, very easy on the eyes, and a lot of detail and good black levels. So let's move to the next picture, and there we go. This is the scene where he discovers the hockey mask. Now it's not quite as dark as this. This is the best I could get my camera to pick up what was on screen, and because this is Blu-ray and not 4K, the image is not as bright because there's no HDR. But it kind of looks cool that he's got the sack in his hands, and he's just noticed this hockey mask sitting there looking at him. There we go. So this is the sister that the young man on the bike was looking for, and holding her captive in his lair, which is actually underground. And it's kind of cool that we could get to see where he's been living all these years. When you go through the older films, obviously we just see him appear, but clearly he's got to be living somewhere and hiding, because clearly the police and whatnot have looked. So here we've got quite a lot of sort of bluey green, I guess that teal colour if you like, but it's still got that milky-ness to it. I really like it. I liked it on my telly when I used to watch it, and I like it on my projector. So this sort of colour intensity is what I imagine Dolby Vision will look like on my projector, on a projector, when they finally release them with it. So this is Jason. He's just come in and he's sharpening his machete on the stone wheel. And if you can see a funny line at the bottom, basically that is the time bar. When I pause the image, it's actually off the bottom of my screen, but so you've probably seen it in all the pictures and wondering what it is, but that's just the time bar that comes up when I'm in the PS3. So what else we got here? So yeah, now as you can see, this is quite a dark film. I did take another outdoor shot, but I forgot to take it for the Blu-ray, and so yes, I got a bit lazy and didn't want to go back, because I only discovered today during the daylight, and obviously I took these last night in the pitch black, with all my curtains and everything pulled. So so this character's gone to look for his friend, and he almost escapes Jason, but Jason has a pretty good throwing arm, as we find out. But you'll see a little bit more on the 4K. So this is actually in the wrong order, as you can tell, because this scene takes place before the previous one. This is quite funny, this scene, kind of being not overpowered, but he's trying to be cool, and this lovely looking girl just outwits him, kind of thing, and he burns his tongue, his lips, sorry, on the glass that's obviously had a flame heating it up, and that's that. So if I go back, and we'll start here. So here we go. Much more natural colour. Still a nice big vibe on the screen. Now it is definitely more washed out, but you got to imagine that this is the look. A lot of these films back then, if you think of Texas Chainsaw Massacre from 2003, that had a similar sort of vibe to it, and so this one equally has the washed out sort of color vibe, but I really like that. And there's that scene again. See, a little bit more detail, slightly brighter image, and I would say more natural looking as well, still with a nice color grading, but just more natural to the eyes, closer to what we see in the real world. And so here's this scene again, a little bit more detail, a little bit more light available, mostly due to the HDR and the camera sort of able to pick up. So to my eyes, looking at both images on the screen, there was very little difference. There's clearly a bit more red visible in the Blu-ray version, and usually I would actually change the tint to I dropped the tint towards green slightly to counter that, but I wanted to keep the projector the same, so that even though the player is different, so the PS3 had the Blu-ray in, and my Panasonic UB9000 has the 4K in, the overall image that I'm looking at was the same. And so still casting shadow, like I said, perhaps a bit more information on the screen when I was watching it than what you're seeing here, but the colours look a bit better. There's a bit better contrast, slightly brighter in the bright areas, like the little bit of light reflecting in his eye. And here's this scene again. Again, just a bit brighter, a bit more information there. Clarity wise, resolution wise, there wasn't the biggest amount of difference, but the 4K still looks stunning. I really like how it looked, and it sounded great too. I imagine it's the same sound as the Blu-ray from before. And here we go, is that dark scene again, but perhaps a bit brighter, and a little bit more information visible to us. And this one, again, this is where I realized that I wanted this scene. It should have come first, but I suddenly realized, oh no. But like I said, I tried to get them in the right order, but I can't find a way on my phone, because I do all of these videos on my phone, no computers, no laptops, no nothing. So yes, that should have been first. But so let's give you a look at both, and you can see for yourself the difference in the colors. The Blu-ray is obviously a lot warmer, but I do think I mean there's a tiny hint of blue in the sky for the 4K on that first image on the right. So anyway, yeah, that's the images. So there you go. It's not the biggest difference ever. If you don't want to get the 4K, then you don't need to, because the Blu-ray is actually really good quality in the first place. So you're not really missing out on anything. Although this 4K is definitely the best way to own the film and to watch the film, the Blu-ray copy is very adequate. Anyway, so please give us a thumbs up for that, and if you haven't already, like and subscribe. The last time I checked, I am 10 away from 1,000 subscribers, so if we could get to that 1,000, that would be brilliant. It's already quite exciting and really cool that, you know, over 900 people have subscribed to my channel, and hopefully they're enjoying my videos and all that kind of stuff. And like I said, if you watch an old video and you want to comment on it, I will reply to that comment. It doesn't matter how old the video is, and you know, there's plenty for you to look at, so please go and look at my playlists and see what there is for your eyes. Anyway, till the next time, take it easy.